President Obama is set to reveal the details of his plan to jumpstart the economy and job creation in the U.S. In his speech to the joint session of Congress, the president laid out the broad outlines of a nearly $450 billion jobs plan, a bill that he says should be passed immediately.
There should be nothing controversial about this piece of legislation. Everything in here is the kind of proposal that's been supported by both Democrats and Republicans, including many who sit here tonight. And everything in this bill will be paid for. Everything.
Well, the question remains, how will this be paid for? Here now is Jessica Brady, a staff writer for Roll Call. What's the answer to that?
Well, as you heard in the speech that the president delivered to a joint session on Thursday, he is going to be unveiling a series of proposals in the coming days where he's going to be outlining some of the more specifics of his plans to boost the job numbers in this country. Of course, a big responsibility is going to fall to the so-called super committee, the 12 members of Congress that are tasked with finding deficit reduction solutions, which was created as part of the debt limit deal that we saw over the summer. Now that committee is going to have additional responsibilities to help find the pay-fors for the president's jobs plan.
Well, Jessica, the co-chair of the committee said it was hard enough to begin with. Now it's impossible. So, I mean, really, when you get right down to it, how can it be done?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the president puts out. We'll have to see, what kind of deals they can forge. Leading into the super committee, they had their very first organizational meeting on Thursday, which was really just opening statements. But at the time, members on both sides were very bipartisan. They seemed optimistic about the future of the committee, what they were going to be able to accomplish. Of course, later that evening, the president delivered his speech and dropped this additional bomb on them. So it's going to be difficult. But again, we have 2 to 3 months for them to figure it out, and we'll just have to see. How
much can be actually passed? There are certain parts of this which Republicans say are acceptable.
That's right. The payroll tax is something that you've heard more Republicans being open to. Of course, that's something that President Obama has really pushed for. That was one of his biggest priorities with the extension of the Bush-era tax cuts. The fear, of course, among the Democrats on Capitol Hill, specifically the liberals, is that Republicans are going to do just that. They're going to cherry-pick some of the tax rebates for small business, etc., push just those and not do the comprehensive plan, which would include some stimulative spending, things for road construction and teachers and other projects. These liberal Democrats fear that inevitably those things will be cut on the chopping block because they just might have to cost too much.
So is that DOA? Absolutely.
I don't know. I think it's a little too soon to say anything's DOA. It's interesting. Members have come back from the summer recess really singing strongly on bipartisanship. So far, you've seen the leaders of the Republicans in the House send a letter to the president. They're being very conciliatory. Nobody's announced anything is DOA. But you're right to note that the task at hand for the Congress for the rest of this year is pretty high.
All right. Jessica Brady, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Heather?
Well, new threats against our troops in Afghanistan.